Maybe it's my hair. Maybe it's my face. It's obviously not my social skills. Maybe it's the way I talk. She always hated that. Perhaps I smell. I always thought I smelled. Or maybe it's the way I dress. The truth is, I don't quite know what I did wrong. Maybe it's just the way I am.
What's the matter, Keith?
My girlfriend broke up with me. She seems very upset with me.
I'm sorry to hear that, Keith.
Thank you, Keith.
Perhaps you should forget about her.
I just cannot do that, Keith. She's the one for me, I'm sure of it.
Perhaps you should talk to her.
Perhaps, but I feel as though she doesn't want to talk to me.
Whatever you decide to do, Keith, I will support you. You are my friend, and due to our long-standing friendship, I would consider you a brother, but not a literal one.
Thank you, Keith. This means a lot to me. I feel both overwhelmed with emotion and overjoyed by our friendship that I have derived much joy from.
Would you like a hug?
No.
You know, whenever I find myself scared or confused, I think about death.
Yes, sometimes I think about that too. Keith, why do I think about that?
Maybe it's because you don't have to think when you die.
It may be that, Keith.
But it probably isn't.
Okay, Keith.
You should go to her, Keith.
I would like to, Keith, but I'm afraid.
Do not be afraid. Just think about dying so you don't have to think. Then you should be perfectly fine.
I think you're right, Keith. I feel much better now.
I'm glad to hear this.
I'm going to go to her now, as you told me to.
I am proud of you.
You are a good friend, and I cherish our moments.
Thank you, Keith.
You're welcome, Keith.
I hope it goes.
Goodbye, Keith.
This morning, we are following breaking news. 4 people are dead after this horrible crash here in Chula Vista.
Yeah, 2 cars crashed here, with one of them completely split in half.
I never would have expected this. One minute, I'm happy-go-lucky Keith trying to save my relationship from the hardships of mistrust, and the next minute, I'm happy-go-lucky Keith lying motionless in the middle of a street. I'm not quite sure what happened. All I know is I'm in a lot of pain, and I don't understand what's happening. I wonder if Keith is okay. I wonder if I'll survive this. I wonder if I'm going to have to buy a new car. I liked my old one just fine, but I'm afraid it may be out of commission for a while. At least someone's coming to help me.
J'ai 15 ans, qu'est-ce que je fais? Qu'est-ce que je fais? Je m'arrête ou je continue? J'ai 15 ans, où j'en suis? À la fin ou au début? Stop, encore. Je passe le bac ou je deviens cloche. Je vais en fac ou au cinoche. Je prends la porte où je me supporte. Je fume du hache ou des gauloises. Je fais des gags ou des ardoises. Je viens dentiste ou bien...
I wonder if my girlfriend will take me back now that I've been in a potentially fatal and life-threatening car accident. She probably won't, but it's a nice thought.
Perhaps you should forget about her. 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 Perhaps you should forget about her.
It is certainly unsettling having to walk home alone at night after being left for dead in my local Home Depot. But there is some beautiful poetry to saying that ridiculous sentence out loud that reassures me that everything will be okay. Get out of my head, Keith. I'll be home soon enough. You hit me in the face. I saved you from a certain death. But you didn't save me from the accident.
In 2 minutes and 37 seconds from when I picked you up off the ground, a drunk driver would have flattened you.
How do you know this?
I just cannot say that, Keith.
Why did you put me in a Home Depot?
I cannot give you a good answer to that question, Keith.
How do you know my name is Keith?
Let me see your ID.
My ID?
I want to see your identity.
Why do you want to do this?
I have to see for myself.
Sounds reasonable to me.
Thank you.
What happens now?
In 2 episodes, you'll see me again.
Episodes?
How'd it go?
I'm pretty sure I just got mugged.
Mucha muchacha, mucha muchacha, mucha muchacha.
Goodbye, Keith.
Jesus Christ.
No, it's me.
Oh, I must have mistaken you. How did it go?
There were unforeseen events.
Unforeseen events?
Unforeseen events.
What kind of unforeseen events?
The kind of unforeseen events where Keith gets hit by a car and almost dies in the middle of the street.
But I didn't get hit by a car and almost die in the middle of the street.
No, not you, Keith. I'm talking about Keith.
Oh, Keith. So what did you do?
I made sure he didn't die.
Why would you do that?
Because that isn't right. That isn't how it's supposed to happen.
You're right. The way I see it, I'm paying you to kill Keith when he could have went and died himself.
But,
Meaning I paid you to not kill Keith.
yes, but,
Meanwhile, you're here talking to me about how you heroically rescued your target in this time of need, and Keith could be anywhere right now.
no,
He could be halfway to Canada by now.
I put him in a Home Depot.
What did you do?
Home Depot? It's a home improvement supply superstore.
I know what Home Depot is. Why is he at Home Depot?
It was nearby.
Right, but what I'm trying to say is, why?
He was, he was lying in the street like a mile and a half away.
Sorry, let me get this straight. I pay you to kill Keith.
Right,
Keith is almost killed in a car accident.
correct.
You, a hitman, save him from the wreckage.
So far, so good.
Then you carry him 1.5 miles to put him in a Home Depot.
Pretty much sums it up.
Listen, I will pay you extra. No, I will pay you double if you kill Keith immediately. No more games, no more ruses, no more Home Depots.
But Keith, there's a problem.
What is it?
It's something I saw. It's his identity. It's his eyes. I could see something strange.
His eyes are brown. No, it's like the most common eye color.
I'm telling you, if we kill him, we may be losing the best thing that's ever happened to us.
Kill him tomorrow. No more questions. If you want your money, do your job.
But,
If you want your money, do your job.
yes, Keith.
How'd it go?
I'm pretty sure I just got mugged.
Me too.
That's no good.
It's no good at all.
We should go to a restaurant so I can eat away the pain of being in both a car accident and a Home Depot display shower.
I feel like I missed a lot.
It's been a long, strange day. But if we rush, we can make it to Ben's Broiled Burgers before we are met by the cold hands of starvation.
Perhaps you're right, Keith.
Then let's go, Keith.
But first, Keith, I have to tell you something.
What is it, Keith?
When you left, a man came here.
That's disgusting, Keith.
He was a mysterious man I had never seen before. Have you seen him before, Keith?
If you're talking about the man who stalked me, put me in a false shower, and then grabbed my ID, yes, I did see him.
He's a strange character, Keith. I'm worried he might be up to something devious.
It doesn't matter what he's up to, Keith, because I, Keith, have my best friend Keith looking after me the whole time. Isn't that right, Keith?
Right, Keith. But you have to be practical. If he...
I don't want to think about something like that, Keith. For all we know, he could just be a thesaurus salesman.
A thesaurus salesman?
A thesaurus is a book that lists words in groups of synonyms and related concepts.
Yeah, but...
I'm just saying, after the day I've been through, I don't want to worry. I just want to sit back, relax, and look at a Home Depot catalog because there was a sink there that shined like the Chrysler Building.
Keith,
What is it, Keith?
you're my best friend. You know that, right?
Correct.
This is good to hear.
Likewise.
Now let's go home.
Public transportation is getting faster and faster every day.
It's all because of the Ford administration. Ever since... What was that?
It's probably just fate dealing a hefty serving of cold, swift justice upon some unlikely band of misfits causing a ruckus down the street.
That's likely, Keith. But I'm still very on edge after the confrontation I had earlier.
With the thesaurus salesman?
Yes, Keith.
I'm telling you, everything's going to be perfectly fine.
It isn't.
Oh,
It's time.
what time is it?
8:30.
Already?
I think what he means is, it's time for something devious.
Yes, that is exactly what I meant. It's time for something devious.
Something devious? Well, that doesn't sound good.
I've been waiting for a long time to do this, Keith.
Keith, he's talking to you.
No, Keith, he's talking to you.
But he said Keith.
I'm sorry, Keith, but it's the only way.
Betrayal. I guess this is what it feels like to be James Franco in the second Spider-Man movie.
Don't spoil it. I just watched the first one last night.
I don't believe this gross miscarriage of justice, Keith. I thought we were best friends.
We are. That's why I'm giving you this much time to say goodbye.
But I don't want to say goodbye.
Do it.
Oh,
He paid me to kill you,
so why would you kill him?
because I knew you'd pay me extra if I kept you alive.
No, I won't.
What?
I don't have any money. I lost my job last year.
So you're not gonna pay me?
No, but I can give you a crisp pat on the back and a firm job well done.
I appreciate the accolades, but that just won't cut it.
Oh. If I had known that when I woke up yesterday my girlfriend would break up with me, my best friend would betray me, my automobile would crumble under the weight of life's pressures, and my spirits would be left in a cold, damp Home Depot shower, well, I would have taken longer to brush my teeth. As it stands, I've never been more afraid for my life than I am right now. And I don't even have a friend to share it with. Maybe I never did. The truth is, despite everything that happened, I'm going to miss Keith. He kept me from making terrible decisions, although given the current situation I'm in, that may not be entirely true. I just wish it had happened differently. I just wish I could be someplace else. Maybe someplace where I can feel safe and happy. As of right now, I'm not sure I'll ever get that luxury again. But no matter what happens, I'm not giving up. Keith didn't die to have me give up this easily. Wait, Keith betrayed me, then got stabbed by his own hitman. Regardless, this is far from over.
The bang to the boogie, so up jump the boogie to the rhythm of the boogie to beat. To the rhythm of the boogie to beat. I dare go like simple and plain as prominent basic Zulu arrangement, rockin' amazement, flocko, radiant from heaven to pavement. They phony as a facelift from nothing to play with. Spend time hating it, but that ain't changing it. God give it to me, nobody is taking it. Therefore, moving on the basis stimulus, standing in the twilight, I'm watching them get it in the walls, trembling in the air, simmering, she moving like a ball.
was fate that brought them together, that brought them all together. Keith and Keith, the mysterious man and Keith, the mysterious man and Keith. Well, the other Keith. The truth is, as of right now, we don't know why Keith did what he did, deciding to sell out his best friend for what? Money? Hatred? Why did Keith do what he did? Perhaps the only person who could tell us this is the mysterious man, or perhaps I should call him by his real name, Keith. That's right, Keith decided to get Keith to kill Keith for reasons only Keith and Keith know. I think the best way to probe this is by taking a step back and giving ourselves some time to understand who's who and what's what.
Maybe it's my hair, maybe it's my face. It's obviously not my social skills. Maybe it's the way I talk. He always hated that. Perhaps I smell. I always thought that I smelled. Or maybe it's the way I dress. The truth is, I don't quite know what I did wrong. Maybe it's just the way I am.
What's the matter, Keith?
My boyfriend broke up with me. He seems very upset with me.
I'm sorry to hear that, Keith.
Thank you, Keith.
Perhaps you should forget about him.
I just cannot do that, Keith. He's the one for me, I'm sure of it.
Perhaps you should talk to him.
Perhaps, but I feel as though he doesn't want to see me.
Well, what seems to be the problem?
He lives with another man named Keith. He wants him dead, but I'm no hitman.
Would you like a hug?
No.
So what are you gonna do?
Well, the problem is, after Keith asked me to kill Keith, I've resented him for it, and felt uneasy about our whole situation.
Maybe.
If someone deserves to die, it's Keith, not Keith.
You may be right.
Now is not the time to quote Billy Joel.
Sorry.
Also, if I kill Keith instead of Keith, I might get a little spending money out of it. You know, like Keith paying me for killing Keith instead of Keith.
That makes sense, Keith.
It does.
But what if Keith doesn't have any money?
Then I'll just kill them both. I don't really care at this point. I'm getting bored of this whole plot line.
You should go to him, Keith.
And kill him? Or them?
If you have to. Do what you must do to keep your conscience clean.
I think you're right, Keith. I feel much better now.
I'm glad to hear this.
I'm going to go to him now, as you told me to.
I am proud of you.
You are a good friend, and I cherish our moments.
Thank you, Keith.
You're welcome, Keith.
I hope it goes
Goodbye, Keith.
Now, my problem with that sequence is that it didn't make much sense. So the hitman's gay. I mean, it is 2016, but he killed Keith to keep Keith alive. If so, why is he trying to kill Keith now? Because he wants money? Was he driven by love, lust, or greed? It's moving so fast I could hardly figure out where the plot's going. Maybe taking a step back was a bad idea. Let's take a step forward to after all of this.
It's a shame.
What is?
What happened?
What happened?
You didn't hear about Keith?
No, what happened to Keith?
Keith paid Keith to kill Keith, but Keith managed to get away. But Keith followed Keith, and you wouldn't believe how... Wait, did you cut your hair?
Not that much. I'm trying to keep it at a good length, you know? I don't want to get it too long or get cut too short.
That's a good way to live.
You're right, Keith.
You know, it really is a shame about Keith.
It sure is.
I was good friends with him before all this.
I think now would be the best time for a flashback.
Once upon a time, the idea was good. If only they don't.
No flashback.
That was a good flashback.
I liked it.
I think we really got depth out of the characters.
Took the words right out of my mouth.
I did not touch your mouth.
I'm sorry for implying that you have done so.
It's okay, we can work through this.
Did you watch that new episode of that late night talk show, Keith Live, last night? My favorite part was when Abraham Lincoln...
I'm learning a lot of nothing very quickly. Who are these people? What are their relationships with Keith? Do they actually see flashbacks, or do they both pretend they're seeing them just to make the situation less uncomfortable? What is happening? Okay, you know what? No more stepping. Stepping back didn't work, stepping forward didn't work. Let's just step to the present. Okay, that isn't the present. Let me try that again.
You've been away for a long time.
What do you mean?
You left us in the real world to play games with Keith and Keith.
Well, I'm not playing with Keith anymore. He's dead. He betrayed me.
I know.
Who are you?
I look after you.
Like a guardian angel?
Not exactly.
Like Mary Jane to James Franco in the third Spider-Man movie?
Don't spoil it. I watched the second one last night.
How do I escape from Keith?
You don't.
What do you mean?
You don't escape.
Okay, well, that's not very useful advice.
If you escape, you win nothing.
How do I win if I don't escape?
If you don't escape, he'll attempt to kill you, but it won't work.
Why not?
See for yourself.
What do you mean?
There's a place somewhere where there's a man named Keith. He looks like you. He sounds like you. He acts like you. But he's not you.
Who am I?
We won't know until it happens.
Until what happens?
Until you die. But if you die, if you get killed by Keith, you'll either be yourself or someone else entirely.
I don't understand. How will I know if I changed or not?
You won't.
So, how do I know if it works?
Shut up, bitch.
What?
Shit.
San Francisco.
people say chicken corn, when the funky gone. Chicken corn, so the funky gone. Chicken corn, so the funky chicken corn, so the funky chicken corn, so the funky
Turn that thing on. Are you filming me? Dude, seriously. Turn it off.
Get out of my house. It's over. Leave. Just don't ever talk to me again.
Cause you're a fucking dick.
You're fired!
Keith. 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 Keith.
This morning, we are following breaking news. 4 people are dead after this horrible crash here in Chula Vista.
Yeah, 2 cars crashed here with one of them completely split in half. Now a major street is shut down while officers investigate. 10 News reporter Matt Mendez is there live right now. And Matt, any idea when the street will reopen?
Yeah, well, it's been shut down since early this morning. They expected the street to reopen at about 7:30, but obviously it's taken them a little bit longer. Now, these guys just arrived on scene. They are friends with one of the only passenger who survived.
I can't believe you did this, Keith.
I'm sorry, Keith.
Hey, Keith.
Yes, Keith?
I hate you.
Until next time.
It's been good, Keith. It's been real good. I have no idea what the fuck happened throughout this whole series, but things.
But thanks.
That's the end.